The sound of running water stopped me cold in my tracks. Someone was in my shower in my house when it should have been empty. My daughter Emma was at her mother's for the weekend, and I lived alone. After years working high-level security, my instincts kicked in before rational thought could. I didn't reach for my phone. I reached for the Glock I kept in the hall safe, my heart hammering as I moved toward the bathroom door. That split-second decision changed everything. If you've ever had a moment where your past and future collided in the most unexpected way, you'll understand what happened next. Hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about how life's most terrifying moments can become its greatest turning points. I stood outside my bathroom door, weapon ready, every sense heightened. Steam seeped through the crack beneath the door, and I could hear humming, a woman's voice, light and carefree, completely unaware of the danger she was in. From me. "Who's in there?" I called out, my voice carrying the edge of someone who'd faced down worse threats than a home intruder. The humming stopped. Silence. Then, "Hello? Oh my God, is someone there?" She sounded genuinely startled, not like someone who'd broken in deliberately. But I'd learned never to trust first impressions. "This is my house," I said firmly. "You have 10 seconds to explain yourself." A pause, then a string of panicked curses. "This is 1422 Maple Avenue, right?" "No, this is 1422 Maple Street." "Oh no, oh no, no, no." Real fear crept in her voice now. "My friend gave me her key. She said I could use her place as a safe house." I thought, "I'm so sorry. I'll leave immediately." Safe house. That word triggered every alarm I'd spent 5 years trying to silence. Nobody uses that term casually. I lowered the gun slightly, but kept it ready. "Stay where you are." "Who gave you this address?" "A friend. She said it was safe, that no one would find me here for a few days while." She stopped abruptly, as if realizing she'd said too much. "While what?" Another pause. "Can you just hand me my bag? The black duffel by the sink?" "Please. I'll explain everything, I promise." I spotted the bag, and that's when I saw it. The corner of what looked like a police evidence envelope sticking out from the side pocket. This woman wasn't just lost. She was running from something. I kept the gun trained on the door as I nudged the duffel toward her with my foot. A slender hand emerged, grabbed it, then vanished back inside. The lock clicked. 5 minutes felt like an hour. My mind raced through possibilities, none of them good. Safe house. Evidence envelope. A woman on the run. This wasn't some mix-up with a friend's apartment key. This was something else entirely. The door finally opened. She stood there, fully dressed in jeans and a sweater, dark wet hair clinging to her shoulders. Her eyes were wide, searching my face with a mixture of fear and desperation. Even terrified, there was something striking about her, the kind of beauty that made you forget to breathe. "I'm Clara," she said quietly, hands visible and empty. "And I know how this looks. You said safe house." I kept my voice level professional. People don't use that term by accident. She swallowed hard. "I witnessed something bad. A detective said I needed to disappear for a few days while they built their case. She gave me this address, said it belonged to a retired officer who kept a place for people like me. I'm not a cop." Clearly, her gaze flickered to the weapon still in my hand. "Look, I'll go. I'll figure something else out. I'm sorry for." "Who's looking for you?" The question hung between us. She bit her lip, and I saw the answer in her eyes before she spoke. "People who don't leave witnesses alive." The words hit me like ice water. I'd spent 5 years building a quiet life, staying off every radar that mattered. And now, danger had literally walked through my front door. "You need to leave," I said, finally lowering the gun. "Now." "I know. She glanced down at her clothes, then back at me. "I have a meeting in an hour. With the prosecutor. If I don't show up looking put together, they'll think I'm unreliable. Could I just 5 minutes to change?" Every instinct screamed no. But something in her eyes, that raw determination mixed with terror, made me hesitate. I'd seen that look before in people who'd run out of options. 5 minutes. That's it. She nodded gratefully and disappeared back into the bathroom with her duffel. I moved to the living room window, scanning the street out of habit. Maple Street was quiet. A jogger passed. A delivery truck rolled by. Normal Sunday morning. Then I saw it. A black sedan, engine running, parked 3 houses down. Tinted windows. No one getting in or out. Just sitting there. My blood went cold. I'd spent years teaching corporate clients about surveillance tactics. Rule 1. If you're watching someone, you never idle. You circle. You move. You blend. Unless you wanted your target to know you were there. Unless you were sending a message. They'd followed her here. And now they were waiting. I moved back to the bathroom door and knocked twice. Clara, we have a problem. She opened it immediately, now wearing a crisp navy suit that transformed her from a frightened woman into someone who belonged in a boardroom. The contrast was jarring. What's wrong? Black sedan. 3 houses down. They followed you. The color drained from her face. No, they couldn't have. I was so careful. I took 3 different buses, walked through them all. Professional surveillance doesn't care how careful you think you were. I kept my voice calm, but my mind was already running through exit strategies. What exactly did you witness? She wrapped her arms around herself. A murder. Outside the Meridian Club downtown. I was leaving late from a work event, cutting through the alley to my car. I saw 2 men. One of them shot the other. Point blank. Then he looked right at me. Did you recognize him? That's the problem. I did. From the news. He's connected to the Kovac organization. My stomach dropped. Viktor Kovac. I'd helped build the case that was supposed to put him away 6 years ago, back when I was consulting for federal task forces. The case fell apart when witnesses disappeared. The detective who gave you this address, I said slowly. What was her name? Martinez. Detective Sarah Martinez. I'd never heard of her, which meant either she was new or she didn't exist. Clara, I don't think that was a cop. Her knees nearly buckled. I caught her arm, steadying her. Listen to me. We're going to get you out of here, but we need to move smart. The back door leads to my neighbor's yard. There's a gap in the fence. Where will I go? Good question. If they compromised the safe house network, nowhere was truly secure. And if they knew about me, which they would soon enough once they ran the address, Emma would be in danger too. My place. My real safe house. I grabbed my keys and phone. It's 40 minutes outside the city. Off-grid. No one knows about it except my ex-wife. We slipped out the back, moving quickly through the neighbor's yard. I kept checking sight lines, listening for footsteps, car doors. Nothing yet. We made it to my truck parked 2 blocks over. As I drove, Clara stared out the window, silent. Finally, she spoke. Why are you helping me? Because the Kovac organization doesn't leave loose ends. And because I paused, gripping the steering wheel tighter. Because I helped build the first case against them. If they're cleaning up now, it means they're making another move. A big one. So this isn't just about protecting me. No, I admitted. It's about finishing what I started. But first, we need to get you somewhere they can't reach you. She turned to look at me, really look at me. Who are you, Elias? Someone who walked away from this life. Until you showed up in my shower. The safe house was exactly what it sounded like. A small cabin buried in the woods, no neighbors for miles. I'd bought it with cash 3 years ago, insurance against the day my past caught up with me. I just never imagined I'd be bringing someone else's danger here. Over the next 3 days, we fell into an unexpected rhythm. Clara worked remotely on her laptop while I made calls to old contacts, trying to piece together what Kovac was planning. In the evenings, we talked, really talked, about her life in Portland before everything fell apart, about my marriage, my daughter, the weight of living in constant vigilance. On the 4th morning, her phone rang. She answered, listened, then her face went carefully neutral. Yes, I understand. Thank you. She set the phone down slowly. That was the FBI. Real FBI this time. I verified the callback number. They're offering me witness protection with a condition. What condition? Relocation to Seattle. There's a landscape architecture firm there that's agreed to hire me, set me up with a new identity. They say it's the only way to guarantee my safety. She looked at me, something unreadable in her eyes. It's everything I've been working toward. Dream job, fresh start, clean slate. When do you leave? 2 weeks. If I accept, the cabin suddenly felt smaller. We'd spent 4 days together, and somehow it felt like a lifetime. I'd started looking forward to her coffee in the morning, the way she bit her lip when concentrating, her laugh when I told stories about Emma. You should take it, I said, even though every instinct screamed otherwise. Should I? Clara's voice was quiet but steady. Or are you just trying to push me away before you have to admit you care? The accusation hung between us. She wasn't wrong. I'd been alone so long, building walls instead of connections. Keeping Emma safe meant keeping everyone else at arm's length. It's not about what I want, I said. It's about what keeps you alive. And what about what keeps you alive, Elias? She stepped closer. You've been barely living for 3 years. Hiding. Going through motions. Is that really what you want for Emma? A father who's so afraid of the past that he can't build a future. Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. Vanessa. My ex-wife never called unless it was about Emma. We need to talk, she said the moment I answered. No greeting. Now, what's wrong? Is Emma okay? Emma's fine, but I had a visit today. 2 men asking questions about you. About where you live, where Emma goes to school. Her voice was ice. What the hell have you gotten involved in? My blood ran cold. What did you tell them? Nothing. I told them to leave, or I'd call the police. But Elias, if you've brought danger to our daughter's doorstep. I haven't. I swear. But I need to explain in person. You have 1 hour. And Elias? I'm already drafting the custody motion. If you can't keep her safe, I will. The line went dead. Clara touched my arm. Go. I'll be fine here. No. I grabbed my keys. You're coming with me. If they found Vanessa, nowhere is safe anymore. Vanessa's house was in the suburbs, the kind of neighborhood where danger wasn't supposed to exist. I parked down the street, scanning for surveillance before we approached. Clara stayed close, her hand brushing mine as we walked. Vanessa opened the door before I could knock. Her eyes went immediately to Clara, then back to me with an expression I knew too well, betrayal mixed with anger. Inside. Now. We sat in her pristine living room while Vanessa paced. So let me understand this. You've been hiding a witness to a murder. The Kovac organization is involved. And now they're looking for Emma to get to you. It's not like that. Then what is it like, Elias? She stopped pacing, her voice cracking. You promised when we divorced that you were done with that world. That you'd chosen Emma over everything else. I did choose Emma. I walked away. I built a normal life. Until she showed up. Vanessa gestured at Clara. And now what? You're playing hero again? Putting our daughter in the crosshairs? Clara stood up. Mrs. Hayes, this is my fault. I'll take the Seattle placement. I'll disappear. Elias was only trying to help. Help? Vanessa laughed bitterly. He's trying to fix the world because he can't fix himself. The words hit harder than I expected, because she wasn't entirely wrong. I can end this, I said quietly. The Kovac organization wants Clara silent, but what they really want is to eliminate the threat I represent. If I testify about what I know from the original investigation, combine it with Clara's testimony, we can put them away for good. Vanessa's eyes widened. You'd put yourself in that much danger? To keep Emma safe? Yes. Clara shook her head. No, you're not doing this alone. She turned to Vanessa. I know you have every reason to hate me right now. But Elias walked away from this life because he loves Emma more than anything. I saw that the moment I met him. And I'm not going to let him sacrifice himself to clean up my mess. So what's your plan? Vanessa's voice was sharp. You both testify and hope they don't send someone after Emma anyway. We go on the offensive, I said. We don't wait for them to come to us. We coordinate with the FBI, set up a controlled testimony, and make sure the case is airtight before they know what hit them. Vanessa studied us both, her jaw tight. Finally, she sighed. Emma comes to stay with my sister in Boston until this is over. Non-negotiable. Agreed. And Elias? She met my eyes. If you survive this, maybe you should stop running from the parts of yourself that actually matter. The protector. The fighter. Emma needs to see that version of you. Not the ghost you've been. After Vanessa called her sister, we headed back to my truck. Clara was quiet until we hit the highway. I'm turning down Seattle, she said suddenly. Clara, I'm not running anymore. And neither are you. She looked at me with fierce determination. Whatever we're building here, I want to see it through, even if it means fighting for it. I reached over and took her hand. Then we fight together. We made it back to my house on Maple Street just after dark. Emma was safe in Boston, and the FBI had agreed to fast-track our testimony. We had 48 hours before the operation began. I unlocked the door, and immediately something felt wrong. The air was different, displaced. "Stay behind me," I whispered, reaching for the gun at my back. We moved through the house, silently. Living room clear. Kitchen clear. Then I heard it, the faint creak of floorboards from upstairs. The bathroom. Full circle. I signaled Clara to stay in the hallway while I approached. The bathroom door was closed, steam seeping beneath it just like that first morning. But this time, there was no humming. Just silence. Waiting. I kicked the door open, weapon raised. 2 men. Professional. Armed. They'd been expecting us, using the same trap Clara had accidentally set a week ago. But they'd underestimated one thing. I knew every inch of this house. The fight was brutal and fast. I used the narrow space to my advantage, forcing them into close quarters where their numbers meant nothing. Clara appeared in the doorway with a baseball bat, the same one I grabbed that first morning. She swung hard, connecting with the nearest attacker's knee. It was over in 90 seconds. As we zip-tied them and called the FBI, Clara looked at me, breathing hard, a bruise forming on her cheek. "Still think you should have called the police that first morning?" she asked. "No," I said, pulling her close. "I think I made exactly the right choice." 1 year later, Emma stood in our backyard holding a basket of flower petals, grinning at the small gathering of family and friends. Vanessa sat in the front row next to her new boyfriend, actually smiling. The FBI agents who'd worked our case had even shown up. Clara looked radiant in a simple white dress, her dark hair catching the sunlight. The same hair that had been dripping with the morning she'd accidentally broken into my life. "Before we begin," Emma announced loudly, clearly having practiced this moment, "I want to say something." Clara and I exchanged glances as my daughter stepped forward. A year ago, a beautiful stranger came to our house. Daddy thought she was scary at first, but she wasn't. She was just lost. Emma looked at Clara with pure adoration. And then Daddy helped her, and she helped him, and now our house isn't quiet anymore. It's happy and safe. Really safe this time. Emma walked up to Clara and took her hand. "Thank you for getting lost. And thank you for staying." Clara knelt down, tears streaming down her face, and hugged my daughter. Over Emma's shoulder, she met my eyes, and I saw everything we'd fought for reflected back at me. The officiant cleared his throat. "Well, I think that's the best wedding introduction I've ever heard. Shall we begin?" As Clara stood beside me, her hand in mine, I thought about that morning. The sound of running water. The baseball bat. The split-second decision that had changed everything. Sometimes the best things in life break in through your bathroom door when you least expect them. And sometimes you're brave enough to let them stay.